Imagine a world where you could reshape your woman's past, alter it to serve your needs, to correct misunderstandings, or even to rewrite history. This isn't fantasy. It's 100% possible through what we call in Shogun Method as memory reframing. This mind control tactic allows you to implant false memories in a woman's mind subtly, rewriting her reality while reinforcing your influence and control over her. Remember all those times you wish you could change a past conversation with her. Maybe you promised her you'd visit her parents every month, and you wish she'd forget it. Or you banged her best friend and left the condom floating in the toilet, and you wished she'd never seen it. I'll show you how it's done, so keep a notebook handy and take notes. First things first, here's how Shogun Method memory reframing works. You create a new memory by strategically sandwiching a fake recollection between two real memories. I like to think of it as a psychological sleight of hand. By connecting an actual memory from the past with an imagined one, you convince her that this fabricated memory is just as real. Like other Shogun Method tactics, it's about bypassing a woman's rational thinking so her unfiltered subconscious takes over. Let's break down how to use this in two real scenarios. I call the first scenario the forgotten agreement. Your woman has been nagging you to see her parents and brother over the weekends, but you want some time to yourself doing your own shit. With memory reframing, you'll have her recall a non-existent agreement to give you space when needed. Step 1 is to create an anchor with a true memory. Start with a memory you both share, ideally one that puts her in a positive, agreeable state. For example, say, "Remember the weekend at the lake house last summer? It was such a relaxing time, wasn't it?" Then, pause for her acknowledgement. Step 2 is to reinforce with a second true memory. Bring up another instance from that weekend to strengthen the connection. Say to her, "And that small argument over who made the better BBQ ribs, that was a good laugh." Let her smile, reminiscing about the pleasant incident. The third step is to introduce the reframed memory. Now casually introduce the new fabricated memory. For example, say to her, "Speaking of alone time, don't you recall we agreed I'd have at least one weekend to myself each month? I think it was during that lake house trip when we were watching the sunset. You even said it'd be good for my mental health, and we shook on it." Confidence and congruence are absolutely essential. Memory reframing is about making it feel as real as the truthful memories that came before it. The fourth step is reinforcement. If she shows doubt, add sensory details to reinforce the reframe. For instance, say, "Don't you remember? We were on the porch, I was reading some self-help book, and you said, 'Absolutely, you need your me time.' We even joked about me playing video games without guilt." Do these 4 steps and congratulations, you've just implanted a new memory in her mind, shifting her perception and tilting control in your favor. The second example is what I call the misremembered mistake. She caught you cheating with her best friend, and she's livid. The stakes are high, and you need to downplay the incident, shifting her focus and framing it as a misunderstanding. Let's revisit the 4 steps in the memory reframing tactic. Remember, the first step is to create a true memory anchor. Begin by recalling a meaningful moment, creating an emotional connection. Say, "Remember our first anniversary when we exchanged those matching watches? You looked stunning that night, and I felt so grateful to have you." Pause to let the nostalgia sink in. Then, reinforce the first memory with the second. Bring up a contrasting memory, one where you both overcame a challenge together. Say to her, "And the time we fought over who should do the dishes. We both said things we didn't mean, but we came out stronger." Pause for her acknowledgement. After you've primed her with 2 true memories, sneak in the reframed memory. Now, position the cheating incident within a different context. Say, "What happened with Rena may look bad, but I want you to remember our talk about how we agreed that emotional connections outside the relationship are important. You agreed it was essential for our growth, and I believe this misunderstanding was a result of that." Then, direct the conversation toward rebuilding the relationship. For example, say to her, "What matters now is we work on what we agreed and work on reconnecting." If she challenges the reframe, shift back to the values you framed around trust and growth. Say to her, "I get why you're upset. Recall agreeing that our relationship is about growth, trust, and forgiveness. This is just another chance to uphold that agreement, both you and me." Keep hammering home the word agree. To the female mind, Repetition makes something true. It's crazy, I know. Keep repeating something, and the fake memory will sink deep into her mind. Some people hate Shogun Method and call us manipulators. I'm not here to lecture anyone on ethics, but if you're uncomfortable using these techniques, I understand. Shogun Method is not for everyone, and it may not be for you. Still, memory reframing is one of those knowledge bits that every man should have in his back pocket, just in case. To make it easy for you to remember, here's a streamlined, 5-step guide to executing it effectively. Step 1 is to anchor with a true memory. Begin by referencing a real shared experience that holds emotional value. This sets a trustworthy foundation to build your fake memory later. Step 2 is to reinforce with a second true memory. Follow up with a second, truthful memory, adding further credibility to the interaction and building rapport. Step 3 is to introduce the reframed memory. Smoothly introduce the new, fabricated memory, aligning it with the context of the true memories you just mentioned. Step 4 is to add specific details. Mention sensory details, such as location, mood, or sounds, to make the reframed memory feel genuine. Step 5 is to handle her resistance. If she questions the memory, reinforce it with additional specifics, maintaining your confidence and resolve. Practice these steps to guide her covertly into recalling memories that align with your intentions, bringing the firepower of memory reframing to your Shogun Method mind control arsenal. Finally, remember this. Like other tactics in the Shogun Method portfolio, memory reframing works on the female psyche. With practice, it allows you to reshape her thoughts, reframe her memories, and ultimately, control her reality. By rewriting history in her mind, you turn perception into power, your power. And if you're ready to take your power and influence over women to the next level, do this. Join us now at the Shogun Method online masterclass at fractionation.org. There, you'll discover advanced mind control tactics that push the boundaries of what's possible over women. You'll learn that relationships are not just about love and affection, it's about control, power, authority, and submission. Again, remember, Shogun Method is not for most men, but you're not most men, are you? If you're the special 0.1% who stick the middle finger to the world bent on making pussies out of men, then join us in the Shogun Method revolution, right here, right now.